It's another day at the mill and another dilemma. Let's see if we can sort this one out. Welcome back to Sawmill, everybody. My name is Bill. This is Part Solutions Forestry, and it's another day and another dilemma. I got one little order to knock out for Lawrence Lynch Company, and they're a big paving company, highway equipment company. Do huge things like interstates and things like that. And what they want is 4 8x8s and 4 6x6s that are 4 feet long with an angle cut on them from 2 feet down to 1 inch thick on each one. And they use them as cribbing to get pavers and rollers and things like that up onto lowboy trailers where you've got to get up onto the ramps. And if you know, you know. So what I've decided to do, because they only need to be 4 feet long, rather than cut a monster log and end up with a ton of waste, I pulled down some black oak logs that are just over 5 feet. I had a few of them up there, not exactly sure where they came from once upon a time. And I've got to try to get the 8x8s and the 6x6s out of these, and each one carries its own group of challenges. Number one is holding on to them, and this is really the only place that I can do it at their length. But I do think I'm going to make a change. I think I'm going to put another hydraulic dog in the middle of the mill there, and that would solve a lot of problems for me. But each one of these carries a little bit of a dimension problem. What I'd like to do is I'd like to split one into get a 16-inch cant and split it into 4 8x8s, and get one into a 12-inch cant and split it into 4 6x6s. The problem is that they're all really close, but really not close enough. Now, if there's a little bit of wane on these, that's not going to make a difference, but I don't want them to be full of wane. So I'll give you a look around, show you what I got, and they're all fairly clean. I think I've got the Silvertip Turbo 7 on the mill. I'm not really sure how good that's going to cut. We're going to see. But these don't have to be perfect, I guess, is the moral of the story. So I'd like to use these little logs. They're only good for firewood other than doing something like this. So let's see what we can make out of them. So you can see the one that's up on the mill here. And my first thought here is to try to make that into a 12x12 and get my 6-inch ones out of the way. Well, 12x12 is fine. It does. The 8s aren't going to make a difference in these. And then I have a pretty nice little fatty right there that I think be really, really close to being able to do the 4 8x8s out of it. It's really close. You need to have about 22 inches. That one's about 19. But if I left a little bit of wane on, I think I'd be okay. And then, of course, I have another little nice straight little one here that wouldn't do either. And I've got one right there that wouldn't do either. The other option would be to try to get a 14-inch cant, which you need 20 inches to do that. That one would do 2 8x8s and 2 6x6s. But then you're left with this one and being kind of in the same dilemma. I actually think that might be a better way to go. Rethinking this now, I could definitely get a 12-inch cant out of that. But if I could squeeze a 14 and get my 2 and 2, then I could definitely squeeze a 14 out of that and get my 2 and 2, and I'd be done. Or I'm going to have to cut 3 logs. So we're going to go at it here, and we'll see how it comes out. It's always something. This is going to be manual turning, manual milling, short log milling. And let's see what happens. My thought right now is that I'm going to see if I can just mow this into a 12, but let's see how big we can get it. It's kind of weird. It's a little bigger on the other end, and I'm not really sure how it's going to work out. And we're going to see how the span's going to cut too. So right now, I'm 17 high on my top cut. I think I'll just cut all these on inches. It's 16th or 8th of an inch. It's not going to make a difference, so we'll just cut whatever we get. You know, that was actually pretty painless. So what I gotta do is I have to get rid of these flitches, this slab wood, and I'm gonna throw another one up here. And that other one, man, it's gonna be close. I would love to see if we could get a 16-inch cant out of it and just do it out of 2 logs. It's gonna be really close. But what I will do is if I can't get that big a cant, if I get a 14, I could cut them 2 more 6s and just sell them to them. They'll take them. And cut 2 8s and 2 6s if I can get a 14 out of that. And then I would just need to get the 2 8s out of the other log, and that would be fine. So let's try for one more. Then all I have to do right now is pull these over, flip them on the side wherever there's the most wane, like this one. Shave the 2 of them down to 8 inches. This one's the bottom one's pretty good. This one's got a teeny little bit of wane right here. I'll just be getting 1x8s off for flitches. And there is a little bit of wane on the bottom. I might even want to deal with these one at a time. But no problem with the 8s. You got to keep in mind that I'm only going to be using 4 feet of these. You know, it's only this much. I don't know how the rest of it's going to work out. I don't have 2 8s and any of those other ones. I might have to pull down a small log that's around 8 feet long, something that's like this big around, just try to mow an 8x. Or I'll shoot video when I'm cutting the angles on them with the big 16 and 5/16 circular saw. I was going to try to cut them on here, but I think I measured around and it's going to be a real challenge. I would have to make a jig. It's going to be a real challenge to get them held. I'd have to tilt them up and pivot around the 2-foot mark, basically on an 8x, have the 2-foot mark over the bunk, raise one end 7 inches, and then you cut your angle, come up 1 inch from the bottom of it and cut your angle, and that would exit at 2 feet. That's what I was planning on doing on here. The problem with that is it's going to be a real challenge to hold on to them without building the jig and stuff like that. So I think it's just simpler either to A, cut them with a chainsaw, or B, do a really good job and break out the 16 and 5/16 circular saw, cut the line. It goes, I don't know, 6 3/16 deep, something like that. Cut all the angles on all 8 pieces from one side with the big saw, and then use a small saw to cut the other side and just cut the angle off. Now, I think it'd just be a lot faster. It's going to take me more time to mark them out than it's going to take to really cut them. So, random Danny cam. Hi, Danny. You being a good boy, and it's nice and warm out, huh? So just a little quick update. I'm off mics right now. My phone was in the truck charging, but I just did the little flipperooski on both of them. I cut them both at the same time. Got a bunch of 1x8s out of them. All that's over there is going to be used to make bunks and repair bunks, like where the 6x6 is sitting over there. You can see all the holes in those. I got to make some more of them, so I'm going to use all that oak. They're all the same size, thickness. Use all those to top bunks. So I got 2 8x8s right now. They came out flawless. There's no wane on either one of them. And I'm going to go try to find something that's like 8'6", about 12 inches around. out back. And if I can do that, I can cut one 8x8 and cut it in half. So that's kind of the plan right now, and be back with you in a few. All right, so I'm going to show you what I decided to do. I went out back and I found a stash that I forgot I had out behind a big spruce of perfect logs for this job. And I was going to have to move a whole bunch of stuff around to get at them, but they're perfect if they order the same order again. Some nice big fatties, bigger than the ones that I cut this time. They're all shorts. They would all be firewood. So what I decided to do is I had two small logs down here, one sitting there and one sitting there. Then neither one of them would do two, so I just decided to mill off one. I ended up with a bunch more, a bunch more 1x's. That one cut out with minimal slab wood there. Got another 8x8. This one's lane free, all heartwood, centered up nice. And it's longer than, obviously, it's longer than 4 feet because there's 4 feet in between the bunks. So this one's perfect. Danny's kind of like bumming out right now. He's not hunting. He's just kind of laying in the sun. But I wanted to give you an update because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my slab wood off. I'm going to get this one put over on the pile with the ones you just saw. And then I'm going to throw that little one up right there. And I might just grab a chainsaw quick and just nip that top off. Throw that one up and mill it out. And that cleans up my yard down here. So tomorrow is going to be a big cleanup day around here. I'm going to get all this pulled out, graded, topsoiled. Actually, I'm going to wait on topsoil till spring a little bit. But for now, I'm going to get my ground bunks pulled out of here, get all the bark and everything out of here, get this all just kind of dressed up a little bit and graded. And then I can deal with my firewood pile, and I'm going to clean up around here too. I assume that my customer's coming for these this weekend, and I've got to get all this slab wood dealt with over here, and boards. Those are all going to end up going on bunks. I need to build more of them. I also need to build a little wood containment shed, so that's going to be perfect for that. So I got to get all that put away. And then I got to start sorting through this stuff. Anything that's going to be good for going with those to build. Some of that stuff is going to come out. The other stuff's just going to cut up. I got another burn barrel from my buddy Mike. And I got to cut the top out of it. And then I'm going to start burning what's over here and getting all this crap out of here. And get Sawdust Mountain gone since I'm thawed now so that I can put my log loader on that side. Then I'm just going to have to make sure that this area stays clean so that I can actually load logs from that side. That'd be nice. But just a quick update, and I'm going to deal with that log and get it up on the mill, and I'll actually probably take you along while I mill that other one. This one only took me, without video, maybe 10 minutes to do. And the band's still cutting good, so that's it. All right, so let's just walk through this log, and if this ends up being shitty video, I'll probably hyperlapse through it, but I'm just going to mill this one into an 8x8. It's got some weird funky crotch here. We'll see if the band survives, and then I'm putting stuff to bed. I think I've got my stops down at like 6 right now, and if I can, on my third cut, if I can square it up with the stops there, I'll never have to move them the whole time. So let's try it. Big top cut at 14. That was kind of good. I kind of dealt with that big knot there at one cut. Already getting famous on this. I mean, it is what it is. Black oak like this goes for $3 a board foot, so it's not like I'm getting poor on this job. I'm going to go to 13. And I want to see how much length I have before that knot. I got 4 feet before the knot, so I don't care what happens out here. Gotta really slow down before this knot. It's a big change in shift for this band, and it does not like it. It'd be better probably if you just cut that off. There's a little bit of dirt on this log, so we're gonna have to deal with that too, but this is at, let's take it at 14. It's gonna want to go shit house right here. Just go right to 13. Then we'll check our width. Plenty wide enough. Roll it. All right, we're gonna be down at somewhere around there. Let's go to 11. Take it right to 10. We'll take it right to 9. Yeah. Nope, I'm gonna wait. Starting right around 10. Take it to 9. Pith is perfectly centered right now down here. Should just be 2 more flips now. Yep, looks right. It's going to be, I think, 9 and 8, and then 8. That cleans up all the sapwood. Does not like that knot, boy. I think I'm going to do one more flip after. I'm going to do it to keep the pit centered. I'm going to go 8-8. That gets rid of all this sapwood and it centers the pith up. A lot of little shed floor over there. A lot of black oak shed floor. That's 8. This one I'll go to 8. One little piece of sapwood right here, and that'll be gone, and we got a perfectly centered heartwood 8x8. Perfect. Might seem like a lot of flipping, but it really wasn't that bad to make it perfect. So I have like 4 feet now of perfect heartwood, no sapwood, perfectly centered pith, and that crotch just ended up being that crotch. So Danny and I really appreciate the watch. He's about ready to go inside, so he's going to be happy that I'm going to be telling him we're getting cleaned up. Just going to dump this slab wood over there in my firewood pile, put that thing on top of that pile to start cutting angles on those tomorrow, and I've got them up so I can grab the whole bunk with the forks. And that's pretty much it. Not very exciting video. I mean, I guess a little bit, it kind of challenges you a little bit up here to, if you want to get multiples out of logs and things like that. And some people might just say, well, why don't you just go grab a big enough log? To be honest with you, I don't have any in between. Plus, these little dinky logs, it's good to get some money out of them because all they are is firewood when they're only 4.5 or 5 feet long and this big around. Then you got to deal with those big rounds, lifting them up onto the splitter. So if you can get some money out of these, which they're perfect for what we're doing, you know, that's great. And this won't be a teeny little money job. When you multiply out the 4 8x8s and the 4 6x6s by $3 a board foot, plus the time to cut the angle on them, you know, this will be a $300 or $400, $500 order. So to get $300 or $400 or $500 in an hour and a half out of all those little logs, and that's what it took me total, was somewhere around an hour and a half, even with the videoing. You know, that's well worth it. That's gravy. That's throwing a cupcake on top of your day, you know. So, and they're going to get a product that's really good. You're talking about black oak. They're never going to, you know, these will last a long time driving construction equipment on top of them. And when they want more, I've got more of those logs out back. And that was without going to another hardwood. I could have gone to elm, or I could have done them out of poplar or something like that. Or what else do I have out there? I could have done them out of maple. I could have picked some small maple logs, which down the road, maybe I will. But for this, since they were here anyway, this worked out great when you can make that kind of money off of some real small stuff in just a couple of hours. So I hope you got something out of it. I realize it wasn't very exciting, and maybe you like looking at Danny. The mill's running great, and this band is obviously whooped, but it was perfect for doing this little job and on something that I don't need to be laser flat. Worked out great. That one's going to come off, go inside with me. I got 2 more up on the sharpening bench. Well, let me rephrase. I've got 50 bands inside to be sharpened, but I've been running through 3 of these Turbo 7s, boom, 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 because they haven't hit anything, and all they need is to be ground. When they hit something, I need to set them. If they don't hit anything, I don't really need to set them unless I see some weird crap. But this can be ground. I will check it to see where the set is on it, but I'll guarantee you it's fine where it is. And we'll be back at it. I don't know, tomorrow's cleanup day. Clean it up. We're going to make a lot of, clean up a bunch and make some boards and do this and do that. But I've been going since, I've been on the road since 7:30 this morning, and I'm kind of done with it. So by the time I get everything put away, you know, it'll be all over. So hope you have a great day. Like, share, subscribe. Hit me up with any comments. Hopefully this edits out nice. And for now, it's Danny and Pirate Solutions out.